At the Grand Prix stage in France there was a scandal related to the work of the judges. From the very beginning of the short program it was noticeable that the judges preferred American Isabeau Levito and underestimated former Russian European champion Anastasia Gubanova. However, in the free skating program, the referees crossed all boundaries of reasonableness. Gubanova experienced difficulties and derailed her performance, and the judges looked closely at every flaw. While Levito, despite serious mistakes, received high marks. Thus, the scandal at the Grand Prix stage in France reached its peak. There was a promising lineup at this Grand Prix of figure skaters, but not all athletes were able to show their best. Those who failed in the short program also failed in the free skating. Only Lee Serna had a successful first warm-up. Other skaters such as Jana Jurkinen, Maja Matsara, Kimi Räikkönen and Mona Tiba had serious problems, which affected their scores. Frenchwoman Leia Serna impressed, performing to the music of Patricia Koss, without significant mistakes. She received high marks from the judges and achieved her best result of the season. Loreen Shield also gave a strong performance, showing her will and commitment to excellence. Although she was not aesthetically perfect, her efforts were recognized by the judges. Wakaba Higuchi returned to the competition and showed a great performance to the music of Coldplay. Higuchi made a strong impression with her jumps and emotionality, although she made a small mistake. Rion Sumiyoshi was ambitious and performed a quadruple jump successfully, which was a delight. Her performance was epic and full of emotion, and she received high marks. Nina Pinzarin also presented an excellent performance, without significant mistakes and with beautiful technique. She received high scores from the judges. Lee Han made mistakes in her performance, which affected her scores despite her beautiful program. Anastasia Gubanova took to the ice with the intention to impress the judges with a clean performance. After the short program, the representative of Georgia was in second place, although not everyone was in agreement with the decision of the judging committee, as Isabeau Levito, who was ahead of Gubanova, also made a mistake by performing an unsuccessful Lutz jump. Gubanova lost important points due to a spin on the third level and a step lane on the second level. On the second day of competition, she planned to correct these flaws. The beginning of Gubanova's performance was encouraging: jumps, cascade of triple Lutz and ToeLoop, double axel, triple Rittberger, triple salcho, but her program deteriorated in the second half. She unsuccessfully performed a triple flip, and then jumps in combination with a flip and double ToeLoop, although they should have been triple, and again an unsuccessful ToeLoop in combination with a duple. At the end of the performance Gubanova was completely frustrated and the execution of the step track was evaluated at the second level, while the final rotation was evaluated at the first level. Gubanova received a low score of 120.93 and ended up with a total of 187.66 points. The judges were strict and lowered her scores for errors. Evgenia Medvedeva, commenting on the competition, remarked, "Let's face it, the judges took advantage of this opportunity and did not spare the minuses." Isabeau Levito, the leader of the first day, rounded off the performances. The American performed the program to the music of White Raven and remained in good shape for a long time. The jumps, 3+3 cascade of Lutz and ToeLoop, 2 duples, triple flip, everything was clean, but in the second half there were inexplicable failures. In the combinations with triple Lutz, Euler, triple salcho and triple flip, there were gross mistakes, and Isabeau blew the final rotation. The judges had a long discussion about how to evaluate this performance and finally removed the final spin from the score sheet, giving it 0 points. Levito was really hoping that the judges would be merciful, and they awarded her 131.39 points, allowing her to win with a total score of 203.22 points. Her gold reflected the overall situation in women's singles skating at the Grand Prix in France, where the judges were harsh on Anastasia Gubanova, but were understanding and helpful to Isabeau Levito even though she made mistakes. Anastasia Gubanova reacted with foul language to the scores at the French Grand Prix. The Georgian figure skater received 120.93 points for her free skating program. With a total of 187.66 points, she took 6th place. The athlete wanted to leave, but coach Evgeny Rukovitsin stopped her, saying no way. Anastasia Gubanova commented on the scores at the French Grand Prix, where she became 6th. Very offensive. I skated not so badly. Yes, instead of cascade 3-3 I did 3-2. But these are not such global mistakes that I fell to such places. These are not the scores that should be on the scoreboard. I'm in a lot of pain right now, Gubanova said. Figure skater Rion Sumiyoshi commented on her 3rd place at the French Grand Prix. In the free program, Sumiyoshi performed a quadruple ToeLoop. I'm just happy that I managed to do a quadruple ToeLoop. I wanted to try it in competitions for a very long time, and now the dream has come true. There is a lot of work behind it, of course, but the result is worth it. I started trying the quadruple jump 2 years ago, but it was unstable. At one competition, at the Japanese Championships, I got an undercurl for it. But today the jump came out clean, so now my task is to stabilize it so that it becomes my weapon. We train together with the legendary Wakaba Higuchi, and I can say that it definitely motivates me a lot. I'm very inspired by Yuma Kageyama and his jumps. I watch him and learn a lot. Who are some of your favorite quad girls? You know, they all have their own technique, their own advantages. But I try to develop my own style, said the Japanese figure skater. At the Denis Ten Memorial in Kazakhstan, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin had no serious rivals. They have already met one of the leading pairs in European dance, Lila Fur and Lewis Gibson, and in previous meetings they lost to them. Nevertheless, this tournament was another step in their development and a test of their dancing skills. On the first day of the competition, there were some difficulties as Diana was unable to successfully perform the twizzles, which resulted in a reduction in levels and scores. Despite this, their overall score was quite high. The free dance was also not without difficulties. Diana and Gleb performed the first part of the program normally, with good speed and quality elements. However, after that, on the straight track, they began to move slower and allowed pauses and stops between elements, as if for rest. This seemed unusual, especially considering that at this point the climax of the musical composition began, the track in front of the judges, and Diana and Gleb already looked tired. This led to mistakes on the last 2 elements and loss of balance. Smolkin was unable to hold on to Davis and they almost fell as they failed to execute the last element. Also, the final rotational support was messed up.